Morning. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. The shofar rooster greets you as well. I'm going to talk about lifestyle today, but first, little things. I strive, I really do, I actually put effort into it, to bring y'all good content. I try not to just do flippant videos. And it is my goal to give you 5 videos a week or blog post or something at least, right? That's like my goal. Sometimes we get more, sometimes we get a little less. Because it's a lot like being an author. The muse has to strike, right? You have to have something to say, and I have to get motivated like that rooster to say something. And so I don't want to just do a video that's, waste your time. Man, look at these. I thought my blackberries were done. Can you guys see that? Let me see. I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to juggle a selfie stick and a cup of coffee. Woo! Sorry. I know what I'm having for breakfast today. You just saw it. And so I would rather not do anything than just put up fluff, right? And I don't edit these videos. I have to shoot them in kind of one go, and let's piece a couple together, and I'm just not very good at that. So I got to have something to say. My son, his wife, their 2 sons, my grandsons, came to visit. He took a summer vacation and traveled to see her parents in Indiana for a couple weeks. They have a really nice place. Picture Shofar Mountain with a lot more development. That's kind of what they have. And then they stopped by here last night. We all went out to dinner, and then they took off this morning to get on back to their house. And it was just a nice interlude, and it got me thinking about family. He moved from far western Kansas, and I think some of his former students are still on here. Maybe they didn't make the switch to Patreon. They're on YouTube, though. To eastern Kansas, which is closer to the Ozarks. And he did that so that he could be closer to Shofar Mountain, and I appreciate that. And it's nice, at my age, the long white beard, it's nice to bounce your grandkids on your knee. It's a cool thing. There's a lot of satisfaction in that. So for those of you who aren't there yet, you got more goodness coming. Lifestyle. Now, y'all know, I've said this before, but I'm a little bit self-conscious about it. I take what I read, what y'all write, what others write, messages I get, emails I get, things like that, comments on videos, and that goes into my brain, and it sifts around with the bazillion other little bits of data that are input into my brain, and then eventually a thought comes out. And I don't try to remember exactly how y'all or whoever said what they said, and I don't respond when I make a comment about it exactly to that comment. I just use it as a springboard for comments, right? And so again, I'm never trying to offend anybody. I'm really not. It's not my intent to offend people. It's just my intent to speak as the Spirit gives me the go. And so with that, because see, I sense danger, right, coming. Somebody left a comment about, I was talking about what's your role. I think it was one of those videos. I did one here and one on YouTube. And he said, well, I've been working in cubicle land forever. I got nothing. Something like that. And then I responded, well, I worked in cubicle land for over a decade, right? Both in the military and as a civilian. And in that time, I think I did a lot of things that made me valuable to a group and, gave me skill sets for different roles. It's just how you choose to live your life. Another thing on YouTube before I get going, how you live your life is lifestyle, and that's kind of the overarching theme of this morning's coffee talk. But YouTube, I'll let you in on a little secret. It's not much of a secret. You all know how I got disgusted with YouTube, started casting about for where else to go, right? Because of their censorship and just demonetizing my videos. People rip off my videos and they weren't helpful, yada, yada, yada. Old story. And so I looked around different sites and I ended up coming here to Patreon, and I value each and every one of you who came. Thank you. The only thing I use YouTube now for, honestly, I do product reviews there. I have a little side gig that I've explained before with product reviews. I will never give a product review of something that I don't like. But if I like it, I will do a product review for that. And for that, I am remunerated to some degree or another. But if I don't like it, I'm not remunerated enough to make it worth me lying to people, right? And so if I like it, I do a review. And quite frankly, the videos here on Patreon, we get about 200 some hits, right? 200 of y'all watch. The videos on YouTube, I'm down to about 6,000 to 10,000 views, but that's still a lot more. And so for the people who are doing the products, I put those on YouTube. Well, the thing is, nobody wants to go to a YouTube channel, I don't think, very few, that just does product reviews. I guess there are YouTube channels out there that do that. That's just not me, and you got to edit them and make them slick and yada yada. And so I have to keep people coming back to YouTube to see the product reviews. So that means I need to do something other than product reviews. And the other thing, quite frankly, my number one deal for YouTube now is to feed people into Patreon. And again, I have to give them something interesting. So I've been thinking about some of the videos I'm going to do for YouTube upcoming, and they'll be decent videos. But you watch them anyway, right? If y'all want to help me out even more than you already are, occasionally, not all at once, occasionally you can do little attaboys on there. Hey, Patreon's good. Or, it's okay. Whatever you think. Again, I'm not asking you to do a product review that you don't truly believe in. But that helps when people see that. Because a lot of people now are starting to give me comments on YouTube about how Patreon censors too, man. I'll never go there. Okay, well, when they start censoring me, we'll all move somewhere else. But right now, it's working, right? And I get to be me. And they don't kill my videos when I tell you things like, we really ought to consider not letting one more Muslim into this country, and the ones that are here that aren't citizens, we ought to send back home. See, that on YouTube would get this video gone. But I'm talking about lifestyle, man. Lifestyle. Do the best you can with what you got where you're at, right? Same thing with lifestyle. I told my brother one time I have no free time, because at that time I had no free time, to my mind. I just had so many pokers in the fire. And he laughed at me and said, you have 24 hours a day of free time. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you're not a slave. You're not chained to a wall or to a galley that you have to row. He goes, you get to choose every second of the day what you're going to do. It's all free time. It's just how you use it. Man, that popped a little thing in my head, enlightenment. Whoa, he was right. You get to choose how you live. Almost all of you get to choose how you live every moment of every day. And when we say, well, I don't have a choice, I have to. Somebody else left another comment. They didn't like my use of that word, you should. It's how I speak. But I was honest, and I said, you know what, whenever anybody says to me, you have to, before you make coffee, you have to boil the water. My brain, whenever I hear have to, automatically goes to, or what? What if I don't boil the water? What if I just get it really hot? Right? I mean, it just does that. And it's my way of problem solving. It's my way of looking at contingencies. And really, I default to, or what? I really do. So, free time, what you do with your life. You have choices. Lifestyle. There are people who work a sedentary job. You sit in a chair with a computer and a phone all day long. And it's the best job you can get at the moment. I'm trying to switch my grip. To raise your family. And, but man, you're sitting on your big fat hiney all day long. Nothing you can do about it. It's your job. I get that. I get that. But that doesn't mean you then go home. You have to then go home and sit on your big fat hiney. Am I offending you? Look in the mirror. And eat garbage while you watch TV or do more computer stuff at home. And then go to bed, get up, you know, somewhere in that process, drink 6 full-strength beers, you know, right? That's what's going to happen. You could take your lunch break and go run. We don't have a shower. Walk. You know, there was that commercial one time, "Hey Bob," where the guy's like walking during his lunch hour, eating like a power bar or something. You know, I think it was an advertisement for the nutrition bar or something. Whatever. I mean, move your body if you can. Most people aren't chained to their desk. You know, you can get up and go to the bathroom. When you get up and go to the bathroom, go the long way every time. When I was sedentary, you know, in my Army and government cubicle land job, I set my little watch. I had a watch like this, and I set it to go beep, beep every hour on the hour. And when it did, unless I was talking to a superior, which wasn't most of the time, even if I was like talking to you, we're sitting there, all right, so yeah, we're going to do that meeting. You're going to do the first part of the briefing, and I'm going to beep, beep, beep. I'm like, excuse me. And I would get down on my floor, and I would do 20 push-ups. Right? And I just did that, you know, so I figure, hey, I do 20 push-ups every hour for 8 hours. That's something, you know. And then I would work out during lunch, too. But I had that ability because we had a gym and I could take a shower afterwards and yada, yada. But you got to do the best you can with what you got where you're at, right? So if you don't have a gym or a shower facility or whatever, then just go walk, you know. I can't walk. They won't let me leave. I don't get a lunch break. Okay, well then get up at 4 in the morning and go walk or run or do it when you come home. We all, even PJF living here on Shofar Mountain, waste time during the day. Most of us do. There are some of you that are super dedicated Spartans that don't waste time. I'm on a fitness kick lately. I'm on a fitness kick for you. There's a reason. I think it was, is it Tim Tweedemeyer? Somebody will know and put it in there. Had a quote that went something like, strong people are harder to kill and generally more useful, or something like that. Strong fit people, something like that. Got into a little discussion with a friend of mine. Actually, one of the smartest people I know, I think. And we probably misunderstood each other a little bit, maybe not. But I got from it that, what I took from it was that, you know, all this emphasis on fitness is dumb. You know, going into a survival situation with a little bit of extra survival rations on your belly is a good thing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, again, I could be missing huge points of it, but that's where we're going today. No. When an emergency occurs, do you think you would be better off if you were yourself right now, or you had just successfully completed your 3rd triathlon in the last 4 months? Come on. Knowing what you know now, having all the supplies you have now, all of that's a constant, but you've got your body now and your body that, you know, you just won the CrossFit Championship 2 months ago. Who do you think is going to have a better chance? Of course the fit person is. And so, and that's something that even poor people can do. You know, I've got no money, man. I'm raising 6 kids and yada, yada, yada. I get that. You can still do push-ups and sit-ups and go jog around the block, right? And so that's why I'm on the fitness kick, because I think it's a preparedness thing you can do, but you have to make it part of your lifestyle. I'll be perfectly honest. I haven't run for a week. I'm training for a 100-mile race, and I haven't run for a week. I made excuses because I had a brother down here helping us out with some solar stuff, solar pump stuff. And it's like, oh, well, I can't do it. I could have done it. I could have run in the afternoon when he went home. He didn't stay here till 10 o'clock at night. You know, he went back to his hotel usually around 4. I could have at that time put on some running stuff and gone for a run, but I didn't because I was tired and I was hot and I need to make it part of my lifestyle, right? I haven't run today yet, but I'm going to. That's my intent. So fitness, you can make that part of your lifestyle. Good eating, you can easily make that part of your lifestyle. There's so much stuff online. And I think we need to remember, as Americans, we should be eating to live, not living to eat. We should look at our body as a machine, and we should fuel the machine with the best fuel we can afford to do. You know, you may not be able to shop for all your food at Whole Foods. I tell you what, you can do a pretty good job shopping at Walmart if you do it right. Oh, I know, I can already hear the comments, but you know what I mean, right? We can all eat better. There is absolutely no reason, none, I can think of no reason for anyone not to be growing a garden. Everybody. The poorer you are, the more you should be growing a garden. The more kids you've got to feed, the more you should be growing a garden. And you should put those kids to work in the garden and teach them some discipline. My wife and I passed this garden here. It's about 3 times, maybe 4 times the size of this. It's on a very large urban-esque, suburban-esque lot. And when we go into town, we go a little back roads way and we pass it. And if we're coming out in the afternoon, there's usually 3 people working. When the sun looks like this in the afternoon, long shadows and everything, when it's cool as day, their garden is amazing. I actually want to stop, talk to them and say, hi, you know, this is an amazing garden. Could I film it for my YouTube channel? I'll say YouTube. I'll probably put it on Patreon. But you know what I mean. It's 3 people. So far, I've always only seen 3 people, and it is an intense garden with lots of food in it. They're making it part of their lifestyle. It's part of their day. What's your morning routine look like? We all have a morning routine. Even if you work midnights, you know, and you get up at 2 in the afternoon, that's your morning, right? You got a morning routine. What do? You can change just 15 minutes a day and change your life. I mean, hey, I'm a pastor, right? You're going to hear it from me. It comes through. The most important relationship you have is the relationship with the Father. Hopefully you have one. Your God. I'll be coexisting with you. But man, you should start your day with the Father. And I submit, you should start your day with reading the Word. Even if it's only just a little bit. Read the Word. You should finish your day with both too, right? Kind of get your sleepy time sandwich between that. It's a way to make it your lifestyle, right? And you'll learn more if you do that. Same thing if you're trying to intellectually grow. Are you trying to learn the ins and outs of geomorphology? Cool, get your books and start reading them every day. You know, just set aside time in your day. You're going to have to be a little disciplined. You're going to have to schedule it to fit it in with everything else you have to do. But you have time. What's your lifestyle? What's your rhythm of your day, of your week, of your month? I think a lot of us, me included, to a degree, just kind of go through our life. It just kind of happens. You know, we just kind of flow here and flow there. And oh, I didn't get that done again today. You didn't get it done because you didn't plan on doing it. You didn't make it fit into your schedule. If it's important, you'll do it. I want you all to do well in the coming chaos. Doing well in the coming chaos comes down a bit to fate/luck, if you believe in that. You know, if I'm standing right here and a North Korean missile, I don't think they can go this far, errantly aimed at, you know, Kansas City lands here, you know, it's my time, right? It's just my time. But if it doesn't, then your survival doesn't come down to consumer goods. It doesn't come down to, you know, this, that, and the thing. It really comes down to you. What kind of person are you? How have you set up your life? Have you lived a lifestyle that is setting you up for success? You know, you can't become a man my age. I'm 55. You can't go through life not knowing what you want to do and, you know, just living a unproductive life and get to here and go, wow, I need to make a lot of money so I can go buy a piece of land and just live on it and da-da-da-da. Man, you needed to make that decision back when you were about, really, 8th grade. I should do a video on that. I think it all starts in 8th grade. I'd say if you're less than 40, you got a good chance to set yourself up for greatness by the time you're 60. You know, you can get on it. It's never too late. Don't get me wrong. If you're 60 and you're like, oh, what am I going to do? It's never too late. You just had a much better chance if you started, if you made it your lifestyle to get prepared, you know, longer ago, right? These things take time. Despite our desire for instant gratification, you just got to start putting one foot in front of another. Put your hands to the plow and start working. Make preparedness, make the kind of person you want to be, make that part of your lifestyle. That's probably a good thing to do. Sit down. I'm just thinking as I talk, so I reserve the right to edit and whatever my remarks. Sit down and write the qualities. I say write because then you can look at it and it helps order your thoughts when you put it on paper. You could type it, you know, whatever. Write the qualities that you think a person of your, you know, sex and age, what are the qualities of a great person? Not a good person, a great person. You know, a great 55-year-old man, boom, 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 boom. I may do this. No, I won't share it with you. It's too personal. Has these qualities, these things. Now you've got your list. Go for it. What do you have to do to get from where you are to there? You can change your stars. You really can. You can make a difference. And for young people, man, it's still America. With all the problems we have, you can be what you want to be. To a large degree. I mean, I get it. You're not born a Rothschild. You know, I get that. But man, your path can diverge greatly from where you are to where you're going. You have many, many, many options of things you can do. But they don't just happen. You got to have a plan, you have to have a direction, and you have to make what you want part of your lifestyle. Make your life support what you want. Don't just try and find joy in the life you're saddled with. I do feel sad for those people who work their hiney off from, you know, 60, 50 hours a week, and then they live for the weekend, right? And so they buy toys. You drive by their suburban home and you see the boat and the four-wheelers or the jet skis or the snow machines, depending on where you're at, and dun-dun-dun. And so they buy all these toys to try and suck some joy out of life. And then at the end, when they retire, many of them don't have anything, right? They're always wondering, I'm worked with guys. I worked with guys older than I am now, retired on military pensions, which aren't great, but if you're a colonel or above, they're not bad. Worked on military pensions and had a good government job that paid good money, whether it was a contractor or, you know, Department of the Army civilian. And they were worried about what was going to happen and if they were going to lose their job and this, that, and the other thing, totally unprepared to retire. To me, that's sad because they're focused on money instead of life. There's more to life than money. It is important. It can help you get things done, but it's not the most important thing. I'll finish with this. Do a Google search. Thomas J. Elpel. E-L-P-E-L. I think it's Thomas. You'll find it. Google's pretty good. They're evil, but they're pretty good. And then put in quotes, escaping the job trap. If you're 30 or younger, that could really help you. If you're over 30, read it. It'll enlighten you on some things. It'll still fill you out, and you can maybe help counsel younger people. It's about lifestyle. It's about life choices that we make. Man, I hope that was useful. I realized I rambled, and I decided I was going to talk about lifestyle and making it fit your goals. I didn't really set it up by saying you need goals, but you should know that by now. I'm going to be on the computer today. I will probably be able to answer most comments as long as they're on this topic. If you comment on this thing, what Bible do you use, Pastor Joe? I'm probably not going to answer it because that's not what we're talking about here. Okay? I mean, come on, let's be fair here. But if you got any comments, questions, or anything like that, I'd like to get more back and forth between us. And I am going to schedule, probably on very short notice, a live chat. I'm going to try it out just to see if it works, kind of like proof of concept, because there's a new platform that Patreon's letting me try out, and I need to try it out while I still have the offer to do so. So that's that. Start thinking about your lifestyle. Make your lifestyle support what you want, not the other way around. All right. I'll see you out there.